welcome to the Lipstick League. Where sports and pop culture come to play, and obviously we are trying a different format tonight. Not only are we Zooming it, but we have not one but two special guests. Where'd Ginger go? Okay.
Ginger, you're a special guest.
We just got done talking about her, but more importantly, we have our friend Kate, who's the Philly PR girl, as our very first official guest. So welcome.
Love you guys so much. I'm so honored to be your first guest. You know, I mean, I'm friends with both of you, but I'm more than that. I'm a fan of both of you and what you do and for Philadelphia radio. And so this is really fun. And I don't know if you noticed, but I wore my red lipstick in honor of both of you.
See, like, and Nicole always has hers on. I didn't wear any today. I should have picked up on that.
You look like a snow bunny. You look super cute.
She looks adorable, but she found this lip gloss that she loves, and she's been wearing that the whole time. And I'm like, could you break out the Ruby Woo, please?
I know. I do need to break out the
This is MAC. It's not Ruby. I should have. Oh, wait, hold on.
Is it the Russian red?
Oh, it's Ladybug.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Is that you?
The mask has been like hindering my lipstick.
Yes.
I know. And that's why I wore it today.
It ends up like all over my chin.
Always.
From like the mask. So I found like two lipsticks that I can wear that like the mask doesn't really like get all over my face. But that's why I haven't really been wearing it as much.
Yeah. But you also found that really good like pinky mauve color that looks good.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's hard, like when you find a lipstick that you love, like that's me and Ruby Woo. Like when I put it on, it just like it takes me to like the next level. You know what I mean? It's almost I do enjoy a hoop, but it's like that meme, like feeling depressed, put on a hoop.
Yes.
Need to cut a bitch, put on a hoop. You know what I mean? Need to put on a hoop. That's how I kind of feel about my Ruby Woo. You know what I mean?
A hoop and a red lip? Yes.
Like that's all you need to do. And like the fake eyelashes help too, but like I didn't do that today. I have my regular glasses on. So Kate, tell the audience a little bit about we're gonna obviously talk about because you're a big sports fan and you do so much for Philly. So, but we want to talk a little bit about obviously what's it been like owning a PR firm in this crazy, insane year. Kate, and talk a little bit about your awesome, a lot of people might know your Instagram installations that you did too, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah. So my main business is Philly PR Girl, and open about 8 years now. It's 2020 has been rough. But I'll be honest with you. I'll start with the good news. Right now, we are busier than ever.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, because people are starting to realize like there's still no events and things like that. So they're starting to realize how important PR and digital media is.
Okay.
Right now, like a lot of small business owners, they need really great PR and marketing plans to survive.
Let me interrupt you for a second because you kill it on TikTok. Like you do such a good job on TikTok.
That is my team, but thank you.
We officially have a TikTok now. Natalie has not. Yeah, I started it today.
Okay, good.
So it's Lipstick League. So follow. Natalie needs to get on TikTok altogether, but that's okay. Like baby steps.
You do. Let me just tell you, TikTok is so important with marketing these days that I'm getting an intern this semester just for TikTok.
Oh my God.
Yes. How crazy is that? Like
I downloaded it and I was really overwhelmed because I didn't know what I was doing. And it was all these like bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And I was like, my mind is already consumed because like Twitter is like my number one platform just for this conversation. And I was just like, I don't have the mental space for it, but I'm going to get there. I am, especially if we have one.
Yeah.
There you go.
We have one now. And people do not realize how much work social media is. And
I have no idea.
Doing your own brands and then doing other projects that you're working on. And then like for me, it's like I have so many ideas, but then to actually facilitate all those ideas across all these different platforms, it's really difficult. And I will say, I think it is true, Nat, when you were just saying, like, for me, like, Instagram is my thing. Like, I love Instagram stories, but like a friend of mine kills it on TikTok. She's so funny and she could do the videos. I actually had 2 videos go viral, but they were because they were just videos that I observed. So they were 2 like really funny videos. They weren't of me. They were of just, it was, well, me and Joe saw Jeffrey Ina Garten, Barefoot Contessa's husband, walking in the Hamptons. That blew up. And then the other one was this house where I grew up, where my parents live. It was this crazy anti-Trump house where they had like bleach hanging with a balloon of Trump's head.
Oh, I remember seeing that picture.
Yeah, and like it blew up. So I think too, sometimes you have to realize like, oh, it doesn't have to just be about me. Kind of what you were saying, Kate, like it's kind of about like what you think the audience would be interested in, and just finding like what makes sense. And I think how Philly PR Girl does a really good job is that like you really actually teach people some lessons on how to market from TikTok, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that's important for you to diversify your content, you know, and honestly, like I personally always say, like, I use this example, like I wouldn't go work for a website design company if they had a bad website. So for me, our social media and our branding is very important on social media because we're out there talking to people about how their social, you know, business owners about how their social media needs to be better.
Right.
So, of course, they're going to look at ours, you know, and I want to make sure ours is really good. And it is very time consuming. It is a lot of work. We post on every single platform every single day.
Yeah.
And we started doing that specifically during COVID and during quarantine because I'm not out there networking the way I usually am.
Yeah.
So we stepped up our social media game and it's obviously working because the clients now, you know, that can come back are coming back. But yeah, 2020, it's been rough. I mean, we moved into a brand new office, like my dream office, the week before everyone was ordered to shut down. So I still have an office that I haven't really worked in yet.
Yeah.
I call it the most expensive mailbox that I will ever, or anyone will ever have.
Yeah.
I literally go once a week and I get my mail. Because really by the state, you know, state's recommendations, if you can work from home, you still should. So my company is still working from home.
What do you think, I guess, like, what is the biggest, aside from just like digital PR and, you know, or like digital marketing and stuff like that, like what is the biggest need that you're finding that your clients are looking for right now? Is it just like clearly keeping the word out there, but what is like their most, like the biggest need? Because you have all sorts of clients, like you represent musicians and businesses and event spaces and restaurants. So it's like, is there one common theme that you're finding that your clients have that you are like, okay, this is where I can really benefit them?
Yeah. So in the beginning of COVID, it was all like, what do we do about our event? And I had so many clients that were in the middle of grand opening parties.
Right.
So us trying to navigate like what to do about that. Clearly we're long past that. But now it's all about their digital media presence, which comes not just social media, but it's their website, it's their overall brand. How are you representing yourself out there to the world? Because again, if you don't have good branding and good social media right now, like no one's going to know about you because people aren't going out, you know?
Yeah.
So there was a business, a newer client of mine called Sugar Bar. And I love this example because
I go there. Well, you know, I go there.
Oh, I forgot you went there.
Yes.
We gotta get Nicole there. Sugaring is so like cool and on trend. It's basically they use sugar instead of wax.
Oh yeah. Well, I've heard about it before because one of my really good friends in New York goes, and I was like, well, how does it feel? She's like, well, I mean, it doesn't feel like kittens are licking you down there, but like it's better than a wax.
I will tell you what, I started sugaring, and then I just love Alex, the owner at Sugar Bar.
Yeah.
She's the shit, actually. she is like super cool on Instagram, and I'm like, if only
Yeah.
I could be as cool as you, Alex. But she's also like a boss bitch.
She is.
And opened her own place, and I'll tell you what, as like somebody who almost died once on the waxing table just because I could not bear it for another second.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. I was like gonna crawl out of the place that I went. I don't want to say their name, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, I cannot bear this for another second. It was so bad that when I found Sugaring, I was like, this is a godsend. And then I found Alex, then with her new place now, like, she's the best. And I'll tell you, like swift little rips, and like next thing you know, you're in and out. I feel nothing.
I think this is funny. This is the second time in an episode that we're talking about pubic hair, you know? Because we talked about how bushes are coming back, you know?
Any thoughts on like the disco bush coming back?
I mean, listen, no one's been down there for a while, so you know what I mean? Like, maybe I need to get sugared to like, it's like kind of like how you're manifesting it.
Yes, that's a great idea. I should tell Alex to do that on her social media. Manifest your man in 2021. Come get the jade sugared.
That should be it. I'm getting sugared so I could manifest it because cobwebs are going to be growing soon.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what we did for her, because of course I would have loved to throw her a grand opening party and we couldn't. So we started getting these like really cool influencers in, and we had an influencer do a TikTok there. It went viral, over 100,000 views. She has people booking appointments. They're driving into the city from Delaware, from the Jersey Shore. She's like, how did you hear of us? And they are all like, TikTok.
Yeah.
So get back to TikTok. This one influencer's TikTok that she did about, my client has really like, set her apart from the rest.
And what's the name of the salon again?
Sugar Bar,
that's right. That's
I'm gonna see her on the 23rd.
Well, no, the one day you and I were texting, you're like, I just ran into La Cologne because I have to go for my sugaring.
I cannot miss it. I can't miss it. It's the one thing that I'm adamant about, just because.
Yes.
I love that. When we do vision boards, I'm going to be like, I'm going to put sugaring on there, and that's how I'm going to manifest love.
That's right. I love it.
All right. So obviously this is the Lipstick League, and so it's very sports focused. Kate, you're a big sports fan, and you're from South Jersey. Where are you actually from in South Jersey?
I'm from Stratford, but I've been in Philly for 15 years.
Right. So you're like basically a Philly girl. And are you, I know you're an Eagles person. Are you obsessed with all the Philly teams? Are you a 4-for-4?
I am a 4-for-4, but I mean, I 100% bleed green. I remember I went to college up at Montclair State up in North Jersey, and we watched the Giants and the Jets were on up there. And I used to like literally like go online and watch the game online, and like all my roommates were like, what are you doing? Because no one like was from Philly up there. And so yeah, I've always loved the Eagles.
Are you team Carson or team Jalen?
Oh wait, can I guess? So at some point, Kate and I have known each other forever and never and ever. So like, we should probably talk about that. But are you team Jalen?
No.
You're not? Really?
I don't think we should give up on Carson yet. I will tell you.
Right, okay.
I will tell you that this season is a wash in my mind. Like, I'll be honest, like, I haven't even been, like, watching every single game, all game, because I've just been so frustrated. But I hope that Carson makes a big comeback next year is all I'll say.
Wait, isn't it weird that there's 3 members of the Carson cult? Like, I mean, it's like Natalie and I, like, we haven't come out and admitted it yet. I mean, you did on the air. Natalie did on the air where she was like, so Natalie's on 2 to 6 and I'm on 3 to 7. So I always get to hear a little bit of her show as I'm driving in. And so I always text her as I listen. And they were talking about how there's still members of the Carson cult. And Natalie's like, well, and she's like whispering in the mic, I mean, I guess I'm a little, like, and I'm texting her, me too. Like, there's still a part of me, I don't know why. And I even talked about it on Coffee Under the Covers, which I do on Instagram, where I'm like, I don't know why I feel this way about Carson Wentz. Like, I don't like hunting. Like, I'm not obsessed with Jesus. Like, I don't like guns. Like, I have nothing in common with this man. Yeah. The only thing is like, I also look good in camo. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? I can't figure out why it bothers me, but like, I'm still a member of the why can't I talk tonight? Carson Colts.
Wait, Kate, what were your like expectations for this season? Like, did you head into the season thinking that, we were going to, like, COVID and stuff aside, like, clearly that's going to screw things up. Did you think we were going to go into the season and be a good football team?
No, not really.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. No. Okay.
I didn't because, besides everyone being hurt and like they barely had they didn't have a preseason, like there was random practices here and there. Like, I just don't think anyone was as prepared as they should have been for the season.
Okay. So you didn't but Natalie, you thought they were going to be good, right?
I thought that they were going to be better than what they are. And I thought it was going to be because Carson Wentz was going to come back and have a really great season. But since that didn't happen and they really have done nothing to improve many of the positions that they've neglected, that's where we are like right now.
Yeah. So go ahead, Nat.
Oh, I was going to say, how are you feeling about the Sixers?
I'm super excited about the Sixers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like they're showing more like unity and like there's just something going on there that I feel like could be special.
Yeah.
So we'll see. God knows that Philly needs something.
I know.
I know.
2021, like, please.
And like, maybe it is Jalen Hurts. Like, maybe Jalen Hurts is going to be the something that came out of nowhere, just like the Super Bowl came out of nowhere. But, it's not like I want to hate Jalen Hurts, but like, I felt so weird. Like, I felt so weird on Sunday. Like, I felt like I was betraying Carson, which is just like the strangest thing. Like, it was so weird. I'm like, why do I feel this way? Like, tap in. What is going on in that head? It was
I just felt really bad for him. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I know it's a game. Like, listen, like, it's sports. Like, if you're not like playing up to like the standard of, your job or anything that you do in life, go sit on the bench, like, it is what it is. So I get it. And I wouldn't even mind if Jalen played the rest of the season. I just hope that, Carson gets a proper off season and training and he comes back next year and proves himself, that he should win it because Jalen's actually pretty damn good too.
Yeah, he's looking good. That's what scares me. But like, I it's just funny. For some reason, I was like, Kate probably really likes Jalen.
I don't know too much about him yet, to be honest with you. But I mean, I liked what I saw the last game. The last game was like, obviously, the most fun game to watch all season.
Okay, so here's my thought. I thought if we're gonna choose between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, who is like as cool as Philly PR girl and like their brand, it has like Jalen Hurts like written all over.
1,000%.
Well, send them my way. I would love to meet him.
That is the thing. Like,
just let me know.
Well, because you did a lot of work with like Malcolm Jenkins when he was here. Like, you worked with a ton of the athletes in the city during their time here.
Yeah, I mean, when Malcolm was here, he was such a big supporter of like nonprofits and foundations. So we did a lot of events together. I've done stuff with Jason Thompson, did through his foundation event last year, he plays, professional basketball overseas now. And I did Hassan Reddick's PR during the draft when he drafted for the Cardinals, and such a great guy. And he had 5 sacks last weekend. Like,
he's like this year, he's having like such a good year. I'm actually really happy for him. Temple Zone.
Temple Zone.
But so Kate and I met like 2008, 2009. When did you leave? So WYSP. So Kate worked a ton of Eagles games.
Right.
I was the longest promotions team member on radio that there ever was, because I never wanted to quit because I used to go to all the Eagles games for free.
Yeah.
So I would literally I would work literally the Eagles games and that's it. And people were probably like, who is this chick? Like, who does she think she is? And I'm like, no, I'm still here. You know, I'm not quitting.
But like, I feel like people who do radio promotions, like it teaches you how to hustle. Do you know what I mean? And like so many of the most hardworking, badass people I know all were interns and then were promotions assistants. You know what I mean? And like was in snow and in the rain and lugging boxes and generators and like all that shit.
Strapping speakers to like our backs.
Yes.
Like
literally like would go to the gas tank. Yeah.
That's why all my best friends, like to this day, are from radio. Like I connected with them and we bonded over the 4 a.m. call times, going to the Eagles game in the snow. You know, I remember like being hungover and like throwing up in the bathroom one game. I was like in my early 20s, like I should not be here right now. Like, but I mean, we were always there at every game and at every concert. And I got to see the last show at the Spectrum. I got to see Pearl Jam. Like, ISP was a great stepping stone for my career. And I actually, to your point, I love when I see promotions girls on resumes that I get. I'm like, oh, they work in radio promotions. Like, I'm going to like them, you know?
Yeah, I feel like we're all cut from the same cloth. And even like early on in my career, Kate was so instrumental in just working with me and like helping me. And like, it's just so crazy where our lives had like led us, and like just you being like the incredible, you know, PR domineering force in the city, and like how far we've come from like where we started. It actually makes me just like makes me so emotional, you know?
Yes.
So it's just, I'm just so thrilled that, you know, you're just continuing to grow over the years and, you know, really learning and growing the way that, you know, digital marketing and PR is going, because like you said, it's so important right now. And you do have like one of the best brands in Philadelphia. Like everybody knows Philly PR Girl.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to work for Philly PR Girl. And
we're hiring.
Well, and you know, so many businesses in the city that use you and individuals in the city that use you because your reputation speaks for itself at this point. And it's kind of like, oh, who am I going to go to? I'm going to go to Philly PR Girl.
Oh, thank you.
Well, and I also think, to backtrack for 1 second, where you talked about having an intern, I think that that's so important, is that obviously we were interns at one point and we were in, you know, our early 20s and we're hustling. And an old boss, one of my first mentors, gave me kind of like this cheat sheet on entertainment. And it was basically it was like the top 10 commandments. And one of them was always have interns and college age minds around because they will keep you fresh. And I just remember, he gave it to me when I was 20. And I remember it so vividly because it's like any instrumental invention of humanity has been started by college kids in their dorm rooms, whether it was Apple or Facebook or Twitter. And so having young people around, being that much of a boss, being that much of a intelligent business owner, to know like, oh, I got to surround myself with young people who I know how to do the ins and outs of my career, but they're going to help me on a level of new things that I might not be versed in. You know what I mean? And I think that, and that's why like I keep in touch with we don't have interns now, unfortunately, but I keep in touch with a lot of my old interns, and I'm always like, what apps are you using? Like, what are you into right now? Like, tell me everything, because I just think it's so important to know that. And like the fact that you said that, right? You're like, we're going to have an intern that's just on TikTok. It's just so smart. And like, that's how you stay on top, because like, you're always trying to think ahead.
Yeah. And they know TikTok. They know how to do this.
Yeah.
Fun fact. I might own a company, Philly PR Girl, but I have never taken a public relations class. So I am 100% self-taught. I was a business major in college, and you know, my blog started first and I called it Philly PR Girl, and then my company was launched after that. So when I first started having interns and hiring and having a team, interns would come in from their PR class like that day to work a couple hours at our office, and I'd be like, what'd you learn today?
Yeah.
What did you learn? And, you know, and moving now, they learn a lot more like working with us because they get real hands-on experience.
Yeah.
But I loved like hearing like the top trends and like what they learned in class, because I had never taken a PR class. Like I 100% am a good publicist because of who I know and my connections. And that's what a good publicist should have, is a lot of connections. And I got a lot of those connections through my radio days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So obviously this is a sports podcast. It's also pop culture. So first I want you to tell us your favorite sports memory.
Oh, well, that's definitely the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I love how Natalie has wine and I'm like lame-o with my water bottle.
I know. I'm so mad. I was going to get a glass of wine too and I didn't. I should have.
Oh no, sorry, could have. I just like driving home. I was just like,
yeah, so Kate, really quick, me and Natalie's goal is to really help blow this podcast up so we could both stop driving our Fords.
I'll tell you what, I was like getting on 76, you know, from City Ave, like on the ramp, and I could feel the back like sway, and I'm like, well, here it goes, you know, like fingers crossed, I guess. Like
so Natalie has a Ford Fiesta and I have a Ford Focus. Ford doesn't even make those cars anymore. So like we really are banking on this to like really help us maybe move to a Nissan.
All right.
You know what I
mean? Whatever you need, I got you. Both of you. So yeah, my favorite memory 100% is the Super Bowl. And it's actually really funny with, and you guys know her and you're friends with her, another badass radio girl, Bex.
Who's God, love that. Love
that. So Bex and I are really good friends, and we were going to go to the Super Bowl. She has an uncle that lives in Minnesota, and we were like, and this was like 2 weeks before, we were super pumped. She bought our plane tickets.
I think you invited me to come with you, didn't you?
Probably.
I think
because we were like, it was very last minute.
I think you texted me and you were like, if you can, like something like happened and you were like, if you can come, and I was like, I was just made full-time at the Fanatics, so like that whole year I was part-time, so I was like dead broke. So I was like I can't go, Kate, but like I'll live vicariously through you if you go.
Well, I didn't go, but here's what happened. So I got like deadly sick. Like I was so
it's all like it's all back to me now.
I got like just the flu or whatever the heck it was, and I was sick, and Bex had an appearance and they wouldn't let her reschedule it. So she couldn't go. So now we had our plane tickets to Minnesota. And we're like, oh my God. And we had to cancel like literally like 2 days before the Super Bowl. So I had no plans for the game. And I'm like texting everyone like, hey, I'm here. Like, what's going on? And of course, no one, you know how everyone is. No one make up their mind on what to do or where to go. And at the time, I had this like bomb-ass apartment on Broad Street. But I was so sick. And I think people always just like, because I do events for a living, they just expect me to host like every major event, which I usually do anyway. Like you guys, I feel like you know, but I was like, should I have like a Super Bowl party? Like it's the day before the Super Bowl. Like I have nothing, you know? And so of course I start texting people and they're like, I'll bring, everyone's like, I'll bring something. We'll come over. You don't have to do anything. So I ended up having everyone back at my apartment. I was going to set up this like big screen. The screen was so tiny. Like, I can't even tell you. I had the tiniest TV at the time. Why I didn't go to like Walmart and buy a $200 TV, I have no idea. But like, I was like, whatever, I'm sick. I don't care. Here's my house. Like, eat my food, whatever. So I was so out of it. I remember like watching the game, but like going into my bedroom and shutting my door and like putting a fan on my face so I would stop sweating. I had a fever. I was dying, but I'm standing there with my Miller Lite, like I'm gonna do this. Like the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Like
this is the power through.
Oh yeah, like this is our night. Like I live on Broad Street. You know, everyone's going to go out, you know, as they did if they win. So I was like, I will survive tonight. And I had tons of people over. Like, I don't even remember. Like, Alex Holly from Fox was there. Like, we went all out. Everyone came. So, long story short, the Eagles win. But I think, you know how like Eagles fans are always like expecting the worst. Like, I think I just like fully didn't get that we won, and I'm just standing there like right in front of the TV, like, wait, are you sure we won? Like, did we really win? Waiting for someone to be like, oh, never mind. By the time like it actually sunk in, I turned around. My apartment, this is not an exaggeration, was empty. Everyone ran out to Broad Street. I was left standing alone in my apartment. I was like, oh, okay.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Ran out. Like, everyone left me. They were all on Broad Street. By the time I actually made it outside, I found like a couple people, but I didn't even care because we won. Let's be honest. Who cares? But yeah, my Super Bowl night was definitely not as expected, but at the same time, like, I love those memories and I wouldn't take it back for the world, you know?
Yeah. It's so funny you said that, because Natalie and I did a bonus episode in our Super Bowl experience, and that's what happened to me. People were like celebrating with 2 minutes left, and I was like, hey, idiots.
No.
Tom Brady has the ball. Like, this is before the strip sack. And then when they actually won, everybody's screaming, and I was like, and I live right by Broad and Chestnut. So they all, and I'm like this. I was like in shock. Like, I couldn't believe it. People were texting me, my phone died. And it took a while to like hit me what was like actually happening. And I still sometimes can't believe it.
No, I went into shock, and I was like, my body wanted to cry, but my brain was like, no. So I feel like I was like, like, oh God. You know, like
I watched the game, Natalie.
I was at Bourbon and Branch with Marie and Mac, and, you know, my friend Dave, and like, you know, my homies. So yeah, we just chilled at Bourbon and Branch and watched the game. But like my body, like I dropped to the ground on my knees, and I was just like, oh God. I know that there was supposed to be tears, but like I think my brain was like not processing it yet. Like, maybe someday again we'll get there, but
I hope.
All right, so now we Natalie and I do this bit where we rap, kind of, but you know the song by Black Sheep, where it's like, you can get with this and you can get with that, and you can get with Nick and you can get with Nat. And so we talk about like our pop culture moment of the week. So like, what is something in pop culture that you've kind of been obsessed with? Like, for instance, like Natalie was obsessed with the fact that what's it called? You know, Dreams. What?
Well, Fleetwood Mac?
When Fleetwood Mac became viral on TikTok. Last week we talked about Natalie's amazing chicken soup. Then it was like Natalie got bangs. It was like, you know what I mean? So it's just like a non-sport.
It's always about me.
I got a good one. I got a good one.
It happened that it has been, but that's okay. I'm sure that I'll think of something.
I have a good one, and I think Nick is gonna love it. Which, by the way, let me just tell you, I did listen to a couple episodes. I haven't heard them all yet, and I'm so beyond obsessed. But Natalie, when you were like, I was a fan of Nick the Web Chick, I was like, yes. Because I was too. I would go to your website every day. It was like Nick the Web Chick site and Perez Hilton, and I would check to see what's going on with celebrity gossip. And you did such a good job. And that's when I first, you know, found out about you and met you, and like I've been following all along.
You said Jingle Ball, and I was there, and I was just like, I was like, well, she's like the coolest person I've ever seen in my entire life.
I will say that was being on stage at the Wells Fargo Center in front of 17,000 people. That really is quite a moment. Like when you're literally right, like it's sold out, and you know Shawn Mendes is about to perform, or Justin Bieber, or Selena Gomez, and they hand you the mic and you get to walk out and it's just you know, and like it's it's amazing. And I was like, oh my God, this is why Lady Gaga does what she does. Because this is incredible.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
In the shadows. And I would like, they would be like, okay, Nicole, you know, because it was like a real production. So they'd be like, you have 45 seconds. And they would like reiterate, because I'd be like, hey, Sandy, love the dress. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm such a, and I always say, like, I'm so weird because I love to be like in a small group setting or like in front of 17,000 people. Like if I have to be in a bar, that's like not my thing, because like it's hard to hear, you have to yell, like, but either when I'm like speaking in front of 17,000 people, I'm good, or it's like a small group, I thrive. And people are like, weren't you nervous? I was like, no, I loved it. I was like, I want to be a pop star.
Love it.
All right, Kate, so give us your moment.
Okay. So my moment is Britney Spears Instagram.
Yeah.
We've
never talked about that.
No, we haven't.
I know this is we could probably talk about, you could do a whole episode on her Instagram account.
We probably should.
Happening.
Natalie, do you follow her?
Britney?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you're the one that sent me my food in the microwave.
And then you know how she does like the twirling videos?
Yeah.
Did you see the meme where it's like my food in the microwave and then it's just her like twirling?
We'll put it on the I'll send it to you, but we'll put it on the Lipstick League because it's hilarious.
I can't wait to see it.
So I don't know. I think that she is just so drugged up, for lack of better words, and I always forget that I'm not on like radio, so I can like say whatever I want. No, I think that like she was mentally ill. They pumped her up with drugs just to kind of like balance her out, and now it's, you know, the thing with like pharmaceutical drugs, and especially like if she's on any like sort of like psychotic drug, like you're supposed to be weaned off it at some point. And then that's where the whole thing's coming in with her dad and the conservatorship and like her wanting to get off of it. But now they're saying that like they're keeping her drugged because, you know, that she can't really make choices for herself. It's just like, it's so sad. It hurts me to watch her Instagram, but I can't stop watching it because I was like, what is she going to do next? What is she going to say next? Why is she still dressed like it's 2005, like with the rolled up boxers? And like she still has the eye makeup and the hair from
oh my God. But why do they let her have access to that? Like I understand she's an adult, but clearly what she's posting is not showing her in the best light also, and not okay. Like it's showing that she's not okay.
I honestly feel like it's just this big, like part of this, like big ploy to just like let her, that's what like she likes to do because this is how she can communicate with the world now, even though like the world's like, girlfriend, like we don't want to see you like this. Like we want to see you better, but like you can't stop watching it. And then she'll post these like weird pictures of like flowers and like fairies. And then like with this just quote that's just like smile. And you're just like, I still love you anyway. Like I still love her. She just turned 39.
Yeah. So I had a theory, and one of my brother's really good friends from high school is a therapist. She's actually a therapist in Philly, and I asked my therapist about it. But it's called like the Women's Center for Therapy or something. They work on all women stuff. So I asked Steph, and then I asked my therapist about it. Because to me, you said it perfectly. Like it feels like she still thinks she's 22.
Oh yeah.
So there's actually a condition where it's almost what happened to Michael Jackson, where like you get stunted at the age where the trauma started. And so in her mind, and she had the breakdown in 2007, so she was like 26.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it was really when she was like 23 is when she broke up with Justin Timberlake, and then she had that weird marriage, and then she met Kevin Federline, and then she got pregnant right away. And so because I think Vanity Fair did like an incredible timeline of like breaking everything down from like the height of her to like kind of like her downfall.
Yeah.
Not really a downfall because it's like she still managed to stay popular, but it's really interesting because she was so young when she had the kids, and like there's no doubt now when you realize she suffered from severe postpartum, and it was probably a combination of like postpartum, some sort of being bipolar, like in the early 2000s, and then like she shaved her head, and I think that it was one of those things that like there was probably so much going on that they never knew the medication to put her on. Maybe
right. So that's why I feel like they probably just like put her on something and leveled her out, and then here we are over a decade later, and you're just like, I don't know what happened. I mean,
because I saw her 2 years ago when she was in Atlantic City, right? So she was in Atlantic City 2 years ago.
Bad, right?
I was like, it was so, first of all, her outfits, like she had it looked like every outfit she got from like Fredericks of Hollywood. Again, it was like all from 2003.
So, and that's the thing, like, I feel like they just like put her in these clothes and just like spin her around and then push her out on the stage, and then she's just like dead behind the eye.
Was her Vegas show really good? I heard really great things about the Vegas show, or maybe it was just like people.
Well, the AC show was the Vegas show. It was just in AC, and I think like for me, I'm just so aware when people don't act right that like it's hard for me to look past it. Do you know what I mean? Like when I go to a show and something's off, like I can't focus because I'm like they're not connecting. Because when you go, and I've been very fortunate to go to so many concerts in my life that like you can tell when an artist is like there, and then you can tell when an artist is just like there's like this third wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like watching her, yeah, obviously she has a million hits, but it was hard for me to get excited because I'm like, this is so awkward. I feel so bad for her. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? And like the dancing was weird and her hair was weird. And she kept all she did the entire time, she was doing this the whole time. Hold on, I'm going to redo it. I'm going to do it.
Oh my God.
So she had her hair like literally in a ponytail like this with like a ponytail holder. And she was in so her hair was like this, like 2003 in this high pony. And
I
then
wear my hair like that on the air.
I know,
like,
but you look cute. You look cute. You can turn into any character. We could do a whole episode on Natalie transforms herself into any person. It's so wild. I'm Kelly Kapowski. I'm like, why do you look just like her? And then she's like, I'm going to be Cindy Crawford. She looks just like her. I'm going to be Bridget Bardot. She looks just like her. I'm like, this is how do you transform?
That is so true, Nicole.
Isn't it?
God, yeah.
She's like, Kelly Kapowski's I'm like, you literally look just like her. The Cindy, I was like, she showed me like a picture. Who is the throwback actor? Not Bridget Bardot. There was another. This is my inspo. I'm like, you literally look just like her. This is like
post all these on the Lipstick League Instagram for everyone to see because you are absolutely right.
Yes.
When I morph into character, I have a couple new characters in mind.
Yes.
Oh. My best self.
Yeah.
The real Natalie.
Like,
yeah.
It's amazing how you can do that. So when you rock the pony, it's just the look. You have this like you can do it. So anyway, so Britney's in this like red satin Fredericks of Hollywood robe with these sequin panties that say "kiss me" on them.
Oh, no.
Like, and then all she's doing that. Give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more.
They're probably just like, Britney, touch your hair. Like, if you don't know what else to do, just put the ponytail. It'll look like
I'm like, what is she doing with the I'm a slave for you. I was like, what?
Like, I got an extra hair tie.
Yes. It was, I'm like, it was so weird. It literally felt like Natalie and I like to talk about Al Albert Showcase sometimes, but it was literally like.
I want to be on Al Albert's.
Do you know El Albert Showcase?
You know Albert's your
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Did you ever want to be on it?
Not really, no.
We did.
Sorry. I was
on the good shit.
Wait, you were on what?
I was on the Bozo the Clown show.
Wait,
That
Swear to God, I was his.
That's bigger than Al Albert's. Isn't that national?
I was his special helper for the day.
Where was that taped?
It was in Philly.
Do you have footage of this?
Oh my God. Yes, but also.
Can you send it to us so we could share it and talk about your humble beginnings?
Absolutely not. There's no way. I will never share this footage. But let me just tell you, I'm in NBC with a client one time, filming a TV segment, and I see a little figurine of Bozo the Clown, and I'm in like the studio, and I'm like, oh my God, Bozo the Clown. Like I was on the Bozo the Clown show once. Swear to God, the controller guy goes, see that man over there? Just man standing there working in the studio. He's like, yeah. He's like, that's Bozo the Clown. And I'm like, shut up. I'm like, no, that's not him. And they're like, and he's like, yeah, he is. That is Bozo the Clown. The man still, well, this was a couple of years ago, but he still worked at NBC. Swear to you.
Did you tell him? Did you say,
yeah.
Hey?
I said, hi, I'm Kate. I was your Berlinda for the day. It was like so embarrassing because my whole family was at the show and then like picked me. Like, oh my God.
One picture, maybe not footage, just like one photo.
Yeah, just take a picture of the picture.
All right, I gotta find it. You know what? I'm gonna do that on Christmas. My dad has a videotaped, like back in the day, old school video. I'm gonna find the video and I will take it for you guys.
Okay.
Please. Yeah. I mean, that's a big deal.
That's a huge deal. That was, wasn't that national? Bozo was national.
Yeah.
That would literally be like the first thing on my resume.
It's like you were on Star Search.
Yeah, I'll be like, the class assistant.
Remember Star Search where they would be like, Lady in Red, and then she'd stand with the rose? It was like the rose before the Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Right? Oh my God.
Oh, hilarious. So good. Kate, give everybody your socials.
Okay, so it's Philly PR Girl. On most of our social media, it's Philly_PR_girl. And you can find me and my awesome team and everything that we're doing on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok.
That's right.
And you post very fashionable pictures and very fabulous.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I know this was so fun.
I wish you guys the best of luck on this new adventure, this new podcast.
Thanks.
I'm a fan. I listened today. I actually was in the office randomly enough today. And I was laughing so hard that I think someone in like the office next to me was like, is she okay? But
that is music to our ears.
Yes.
Here, good vibes only. Is that how you felt?
That is exactly how I felt.
TVO.
I know you sent the funny email. You're like the Biggest Loser episode, and my friend Holly, who I was on the Biggest Loser with, she literally texted me and goes, "Did you warn Neil?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "What?" I go, "It's been 14 years. Like I feel like the statute of limitations has run out." Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's not like we talk on the regular. Then she had me paranoid. And I'm like, this is like a lesson. Like, why am I giving this random boy power over me? Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, we send each other happy birthday texts. That's it. Like, I'm sorry that you sent me a dick pic in 2007, but like, it's a good story. And like,
email, Natalie, email.
So I like knew a little bit of it, and then when she retold it during that episode, my heart was like boom, 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 boom. My legs were like shaking, and like my reactions in the podcast, like that's me being like, oh my God. So I mean, like, I love all the stuff we've done so far, but that like by far like my like just so funny, like oh my God.
Well,
I have to get to Nicole's level soon where I'm sharing like those like as much as she can, because it's incredible to be able to like put that out there. Like I can get.
Yeah, but it was so long. Like the only reason I was able to put it out there is because it was so long ago.
Oh,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like, obviously, if it was just even like 3 years ago, I'd probably have a much harder time talking about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like kind of the cool thing is like it's a yin and yang, is that I'm a little like over the top, like spiller in the sense that I just like say stuff and I'm like, oh, did I really just say that? And I'm like, whatever. And Natalie's definitely more the cerebral one.
Absolutely. No,
I'm
you're
like, let's talk
absolutely
about books again.
Natalie always wants to tell her stories, but then she's like, no, I shouldn't. And
Yeah.
I know you got stories, girl. Like, I know.
Right.
I know there's people sliding into your DMs back in the day, okay? And I can't wait for you to start just spilling all those secrets.
And she will have to, because eventually, like, if we hit a plateau, she has to, like, it's
I'll
like,
have to carry it by, okay.
yeah, it's like, eventually I'm going to be like, hey, girl, we need to get the views up. So we need to talk about that incident in 2012. So get ready.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've lived a very boring, run-of-the-mill, mundane life.
That's what you say, but no one believes it.
Especially when I was single. Like,
yeah. I know. I'm always trying to think of some good stories. I mean, the Biggest Loser story was probably the best one, but I do have a really fun story about hooking up with a boy in a band where I picked him up at his tour bus when it was parked in the Walmart parking lot on Delaware Ave. We can get to that. That was good.
Oh, that's a good one.
And he just wrote a song, I think, on Selena Gomez's new album. He was in a band, and now he's like a writer. He's married with kids and stuff, but that was a good story. And I was so drunk, I puked, brushed my teeth, and then went back to hooking up with it.
Got a girl. Got a girl. Got a girl.
Love it. Oh my God.
Funny.
All right, Kate, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And again, so you said your socials, it's Philly_PR_girl. And then your website is phillyprgirl.com.
Correct.
Okay. And anywhere else people can find you?
They'll find me.
Yeah, they'll find you. Kate Marlys, thank you so much.
And
I love
can't wait till like we can like hang out in real life and hug and drink and eat some really good apps. So
Exactly. I cannot wait for those days either.
Well, and because we're gonna have our Lipstick League launch party.
And you know who'll throw a party for you.
Yeah. We're gonna have our Lipstick League launch party. Everybody's gonna be there, and it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And you can't get in unless you have lipstick, even the boys.
That's right. That's right. Good things ahead for all of us. Good things ahead for all of us, I'm sure. So thanks so much, Kate.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. Mwah.
Yeah.
Yeah.